So first we have our 3 layers. We have outside exterior fabric, lining fabric, and pockets. So first thing I will do is, if my fabrics are not already positioned, I will put it right sides facing together, and then I will sew the curved angle of the face first. I'll do about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, back tacking at both ends of the fabric. Okay. With the white lining fabric, don't worry about putting it right sides together. Alright. Oops, where's my scissors? Oh, but do double check to make sure that if your fabric wasn't lined up all the way, you go back again. Which is what I just did. Sorry. Okay, and now my pockets. Let's see, did I already have it? No, I did not. What I tend to do is put my stack together and then take the top one and flip it and put it underneath so all the right sides are facing together. Okay, so now I will take my lining, opening it up so the right side is up. I hold it with the nose part on my hand. Take the, forgot the hems on the pocket. So just fold it over. I tend to do about 1/2 inch. Sorry, where's the camera? About 1/2 inch or so. It's not a huge deal as long as there's a pocket. And then the whatever 1/2 inch to, or 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch, probably 1/4 inch is good. Just tack it down. Alright, let's start again. So now I have the mask on my hand. Then on the nose part, I flipped the pocket right side up, making sure that, where's the camera? Making sure that my hem lines match up like you do with quilting. And that, and then I will grab the exterior fabric and make right sides touching. Right sides touching. So I'll line up the hem lines, and I tack it or pin it, making sure to be careful that all the layers are snug against each other. Don't be surprised if one of the layers, specifically the white lining one, ends up a little bit longer. Don't tuck it down, allow it to hang off, and we can trim it later, because when we flip it back, when we flip things around, it'll bunch around the nose and cause pain to whoever's wearing it, especially if it's a healthcare person long term or longer hours. Alright, so now I'm just lining up the fabric. This is part of the things that takes a long time. I have these clips for making bows that I've been using to help just hold the fabric together in these spots. Just dropped it. And if you have regular bobby pins, that's totally fine. I've found that it's helped me to move a little more fast and also not get poked with the needle as often. Okay. And now we just sew along the top and the bottom. I do recommend sewing the top curved area first. It can be a little tricky. Again, because this jersey fabric tends to roll just a little bit, so double check that your layers are lined up before you get started sewing. And then again, double check the bottom, the other side. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect at the end, but up until the pocket needs to be. Okay, so now I do the bottom side. Making sure to back tack on both sides, because when you start to turn everything, it falls apart if you don't. Okay, so we turn it inside out. When we grab it to turn it, we're gonna grab the liner and the pocket, and then we're gonna have the outside layer on the other side. Okay, let's see, this one is fold over elastic. So as I turn it around, I'm kind of just molding the shape of the nose and pushing with my hands, pushing with my hands against the fabric to kind of put it where I want it to go. Okay, now we have a large area above where the pocket ends up and the fabric. You're going to want to leave about a thumb's length in between the top of the pocket and the edge of the fabric. We're going to tuck it in. Tuck it in. I liked having this extra fabric because if it's like a real small piece, it's easier to lose it or lose your hem. I find that this kind of holds a little bit better. All right, so I've rolled it inward, rolled it in on itself, and lined it up. So you can see it's about a thumb's length between the top of the pocket and the the side of the mask. Okay, and then either pin it or clip it, whatever you have to secure your fabric. Do the other side. Okay. And then I also sometimes like to double check myself that they've both lined up, which they have. They're almost identical. You can see it. Yep. All right. So next, I like to start and finish from one of the bottom corners. I like to finish along the long edge last. Personally, that's just my own little preference. So I'm going to start on the bottom left corner when I sew. I'm going to take. I'm going to have a 12-inch elastic, and this is for the fold over elastic, a 12-inch and a 9-inch, roughly. I mean, don't worry about having to be exact. It's approximate. I open up, probably can't see it on the side. I'm going to open up the fold where we just put the, tucked in that extra fabric, put about a 1/2 inch of the elastic inside and then pin it. People message me. Oh. All right, so I've got the shorter elastic along the straight side. And I'm going to take 12 inches because this is an adult mask and do the same thing. Tuck it inside the fabric, pin it in place so it stays still as I'm stitching. Now I'm going to run this into my sewing machine along this bottom right, excuse me, I pinned it backwards, whatever, it's already there. So I'm going to start on the bottom right, go down my straight line. No, I did it backwards, sorry. I'm going to start the side where the hem is. It's up to you where you want to start. So I go across and tack down this elastic. I go along the curved, and then before I start the other side, I'm going to pull it around and shove it in and pin it. All right, so you'll see once we get going. Okay, we're gonna back tack. Okay, so I turn, pull out my needle, back tack, because remember people are going to be yanking on their heads, so we don't want to just go one time, we want to back it up. Now we're closing up that open pocket, or not pocket, but the lining and exterior fabric. Back stitch along the second elastic. Rotate it around with the needle down so you don't lose your position. I'm going to double check my nose area and shove with my thumb, shove the fabric down and smooth it out. Okay. This is where I have to slow down. This is where I should have done the surgical mask. Now, it's up to you if you want to leave it under the needle for this part. I have done both. I do find I'm more consistent when I go ahead and back stitch and finish off that side and then position the elastic versus leaving it in there and trying to move stuff around while underneath the needle, but that's totally your preference. Your skill level may be better than mine. Okay. Try to make sure that whenever you do tack down or pin down the elastic that it is perpendicular with the rest of the mask and not kind of like not at an angle. And now I'm just going to shove it in under and stitch it closed. Now I kind of wish everybody had done this elastic and not done the straps, but back stitch. This is one of the faster ones. Okay. There we go. So then afterwards, where's my other scissors? Then I just go back and snip off the extra threads. Being careful not to snip the elastic. And then there is a constructed mask. What do we do? 11 minutes plus talking time for instruction. All right, I'll take another video of with the ear loops version. It's pretty much the same thing with the ear loops. So I'm doing the fold over elastic. With the ear loops, you're going to take the 1/4 inch braided elastic and you're going to do 7 inches. Let me cut one down real quick. I gave you 14. Sorry, my girls like to scream. And then instead of where the fold over went, where's my camera? I'm going to be tacking it. I'm going to be sliding in the braided elastic and then going across that way. I'll be tucking it into the pocket, you know, where the layers of the fabric go.